How's it going, everyone? So today we're going to be talking about some PlayStation 4. This is the first time I've talked about a PlayStation 4 game on my channel, and that's because this one is very super special. This one is going to be Spider-Man PS4. It's kind of silly, but that's, from my understanding, the name of the title, or the title of the video game. So I really wanted to talk about this one because, like I said, it's one of the first, well, I have a PlayStation 4, I don't play it that often. I mostly have it for exclusives and things like that because, well, exclusive. And when I was younger I had a PlayStation 2, so when they went back and remastered some of the old games, like the Jak and Daxter collection for instance, I was like, that would be awesome to replay. And so I have those two. That'll probably be a separate video after I revisit them. So yeah, today we're talking about Spider-Man PS4. Now, again, bluff, this game is fantastic. I absolutely love it. If you've ever played Assassin's Creed, I would say 2 and after, or you've ever played the Batman Arkham games, this game is very, very similar in its combat systems and things like that. But there's a couple of things that are different. So some people will claim, so right now we're just going to talk about the mechanics and stuff like that, and then we'll get into story stuff. I don't feel the need to make this 2 videos because Far Cry was a little bit different because of how long it was and stuff like, and yeah, things like that. So yeah, gameplay mechanics are really fun. I really like what they did with the webbing. It was really simple and easy. There are a couple of Spider-Man games out there where it's a little more complicated. So yeah, there you can, you know, you're swinging around and stuff. It's a good time. You can do a zip thing. Really cool. I really like what they did. There's certain things where, like, if there's a water tower and they have like the X thing underneath it, you can like spin through it and stuff like that. So it's pretty fun. I mean, they try to get creative with it, and I really appreciate that. The gadgets is another thing I really liked. So Batman had like more or less like a wheel, right? Sometimes they had more, sometimes, or I think sometimes they had more. But Spider-Man, they have more than a wheel. They have, well, no, with the gadgets, yeah, the gadgets, it's a wheel. And then you can change out your suit ability, which is really, really cool. So you can do different kinds of ones. Like you can get one that refills all your equipment without doing combos or anything like that. You can get another one where it pops out the Iron Spider arms, regardless of what suit you're wearing at the time. You can get another one where it creates like Ghost Rider flames around you, and like it does bonus damage and stuff. It's really, really fun. So the amount of customizability, like between your suitability and what suit you're wearing, I really enjoyed that. The collectible nature of it really plays into, like, I think three suits that you unlock through like finding collectibles or solving crimes or things like that. There's a hidden costume that you get for doing a hidden objective. It's finding important landmarks to like the Spider-Man universe. So like Ben's grave and a couple other ones, and then you get like, it's like Naked Peter or University Peter, one of the two. Pretty fun, pretty interesting. So yeah, the game does a lot of cool things. So the thing that makes it stand apart, in my opinion, from the Batman games is in Batman, if you push Y or triangle, you just counter. In Spider-Man, it's a dodge, so you can't just auto-defeat people with counter, basically. So you have to dodge out of the way and then reassess the situation, bounce around a little bit, and stuff like that. So, like as far as mechanics go, it was very smooth. Running on walls and all that kind of good stuff was great. The stealth mechanics were awesome. Basically doing like ledge takedowns and stuff like that from Batman was awesome. You're webbing people up to stuff, you're sending them flying or doing whatever, but nobody dies. Nobody dies. You're Spider-Man, at least in this game. Nobody dies. So it's pretty fun. I think that's all I have to say about it mechanically. The game has 3 DLCs, all of which were awesome. They come with their own crimes, like so it'll be like spontaneous crimes basically, and for each district. And I think there's like 5. And once you complete all 5 of them, there's no crime there ever again. If you do like all the gang events and stuff like that. So each DLC introduces some more crimes to each of the different districts, except they're different villains based on the DLC. Because the DLC has a couple different factions it brings back or focuses on. So that's pretty cool. And I think throughout the 3 DLCs, there's 3 suits total. So you end up with 9 extra costumes with the DLCs. Just based on gameplay, I would say the DLCs are worth it alone. And then if you care about like the cosmetic kind of stuff, it's just a sweet bonus. So yeah, I really enjoyed the DLCs. I thought they were really good. I thought they improved on the game and kind of expanded a little bit on some of the side characters we didn't really get to see or anything like that. I think it's going to wrap up for real this time, like the mechanicals and stuff like that. We'll talk about the story. So the story really, I feel, pulls again from the Ultimate Universe, just like the Marvel movies do. They introduced Miles Morales in this game, although he's a side character, and I can't remember if he gets bit by the spider or not. I think he does. But he's a side character in that. Oh yeah, he does get bit by the spider because he jumps on the roof at the very end of the game when he's having a serious conversation with Peter. The villains of the game are the Sinister Six, or a variation of them, I should say. This variation is led by Dr. Octopus, who is a good guy throughout the game until he goes a little nutso because of various things, mostly corporation kind of stuff. Really pushes him over the edge, and he's just like, nah, I'm taking everybody down. It's pretty interesting. The other, I would say, main villain is Negative Man, or Mr. Negative. Yeah, he plays a big role. He's a very big villain throughout the game. Kingpin was not. It was very short. Kingpin gets locked up right away, and that's like one of the first things you do in the game is you take down Kingpin. So yeah, Rhino makes an appearance. Vulture makes an appearance. Shocker, Electro, Dr. Octopus, and Mr. Negative, or Negative Man. I can't remember which one they call him in the game. So all that's pretty fun. I don't think they kill off Aunt May in the game, at least to my recollection. They don't. Norman Osborn is like running for mayor or something, and he's trying to sweep things under the rug and like not focus on other things because he's all worried about his campaign and whatnot and his image. Harry Osborn is in the game, but not really. Throughout the game, you and MJ have like flashbacks of he's getting ready to go on this big trip. His mom got sick and died. He's not doing well. He's just going out and like he took an adventure. He took off one day. At the end of the game, it is revealed that Norman has him in his apartment and he's been trying to work on a way to fix him because he's got the same sickness his mom had or something like that. And at the very end of like that little clip with Harry and Norman, like a black goo just slaps the side of the container and starts crawling up. So it's heavily implied that they're going with the Ultimate's version of Venom, how he was created in a lab by Parker and Eddie Brock's dad. That's how it was in the Ultimate universe. It was supposed to be like a substance that they can inject into somebody's body to fight and push out cancer. But obviously that didn't happen. It ended up becoming the Venom suit. So it looks like they're taking that approach. And like I said, this heavily takes apart influence from the Ultimate universe down to the character designs and like the kind of like Rhino's not just some big dude in like a leather Rhino suit or anything like that. He's in a giant mechanical suit. And things like that. And I think it was more in the Ultimate universe where Kingpin was specifically a Spider-Man villain. I know Spider-Man's had confrontations with Kingpin in the main continuity, but in the Ultimate universe, it was like straight up Kingpin was Spider-Man's villain. He was like pretty much until Kingpin's death. He was always gunning after Spidey. Anyone else was kind of like a side project. So that was pretty cool. I enjoyed all the adaptations really. Even Miles wasn't annoying. Like in the comics, I could go on a rant about how annoying Miles is in the comics. But in this game, he was pretty solid. He was just trying to be. He was vastly different from his comic counterpart. In this game, Miles is constantly reaching out to Peter, like, "Hey, I want to help. Is there anything I can do for you? This, that, and the other." So I really like how they're doing his character better. Kind of like how Spider-Verse did him a lot better. I mean, obviously he's a fan favorite now because of the Into the Spider-Verse movie. I think that's all I really want to talk about with the story. There's a special suit that Peter designed specifically to fight Dr. Octopus, and it's a pretty legit looking costume. All the costumes have various like origins from the comic books. Different times, or I think they have like one or two from the movies. They gave out it was a free update. They gave out the Sam Raimi, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man suit. They gave that one out for free. They have the Infinity War, like Iron Spider costume. I think they have the regular one from Homecoming as well. I can't really remember. But there's all kinds of different suits, like the original like steel armor he built, the original Spider armor. They've got the one from, I can't remember what that story's called, but it was a different one, basically a different suit he made to fight the Sinister Six, take them all at the same time. They got a Ghost Rider one where he's like a white with blue flames. It's really cool looking. I can't remember if they have Cosmic Spidey, but they have Fear Itself Spidey. That one's really, really cool. It's like a glowing blue glowing blue costume with like special web gauntlets. That one's super cool. That was one of my favorites. 2099, another one of my favorite looks for Spider-Man was in the game. So yeah, that was really dope. And then of course there's the original for this game where he's got the white spider and like the white on various parts of his costume. I thought the design they created was very clean, and I really liked it because there's only so much you can do with like the spider suit, you know. You can change a couple colors here or throw some armor on it, but more or less it's always going to look the same, kind of like Wolverine's costumes throughout the years. It's just different color palette, but I really like what they did with all the costumes in this game. I thought they all looked really, really good. There was none that stood out to me as looking kind of like not as good as the other ones for like what it was trying to be. I think I rotated out the costumes throughout playing the game just because I liked them and I wanted to see them all and use them all. But there was only a handful of abilities I actually ended up using, mostly because of I have a more like direct combat kind of style. Like I just want to get in there and smack them all up. So the stealth missions were pretty hard for me, just because it's not how I like to play. So I think that's going to wrap it up. I really enjoyed Spider-Man PS4. I think they already greenlit a sequel. I'm not sure if there's an official release date just yet, but I know the rumor mill is going to be spinning that Venom and potentially Carnage will be villains in the game. If they decide to introduce other symbiotes, I am totally there for it. I love the symbiotes. And the second game is likely where they'll go the angle of Goblin being the main villain and probably end the game with Peter's death, if I had to guess, just based on what they've done so far. Because like I said, they've already established Miles and they've already given him spider powers. So it's like, you're definitely setting up for Miles to come in. But in the comic books and main continuity, Peter and Miles exist at the same time because the Ultimate Universe got collapsed into the main continuity. Now, whether it's still like that or not, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't kept up with Miles Morales in particular, just because it lost me, dude. I couldn't stand his character. He was so just garbage, bro. Like, I just didn't like it, so I really didn't keep up with it like I wanted to. I ended up getting into some other stuff and reading some other stories. That's actually something I was debating on doing with the being able to screen share now. Is I was thinking about going through one of the recent comic books I read online and just like hitting up the key points and going through the story and stuff like that. So I think that would be pretty fun. You know what? That's actually pretty tempting. I'll probably look at doing that here pretty soon. Just get my dual monitor set up and get that going. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Okay, but for real this time, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you play this game. I hope you give it a try. If you have a PlayStation 4, I wouldn't say you should buy a PS4 just for this game. It was a fantastic game, but even still with the PS5 on the horizon, it's still kind of expensive to just go out and buy a PlayStation 4 for one game. If you're going to buy a PlayStation 4 for this game, at least justify it by buying the other exclusive titles, one of which is going to be our next video, the Uncharted series. So yeah, like I said, if you have a PlayStation 4 and you haven't given it a shot yet, I would highly suggest it. You can get the like Premier or like Super Edition that comes with the Season Pass for $60 or under. I bought it for my brother this past Christmas, and he loved it. He loved the game. He 100%ed it, all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, if you liked the video, cool, awesome, thanks, let me know. If there's anything I can improve on, let me know. And if there's anything in particular you want to see, any video games you want to see covered, movies, comics, whatever, just let me know. And I'll definitely give it a consideration, if not, start filming it. So thank you so much if you made it to the end, and we'll see you next time.